tell a story about Nan McKenna.
Okay.
And look at me, I look as hopeless as they come. I dropped out of school at age either 12 or 14, probably 14. And my headmaster begged me not to do that. And he used to call everybody my girl or my boy, not your name. So he said to me, don't do that, my girl. And anyway, my girl did it. And I probably dropped out in order to go to work so that I could contribute to the family coffers. And because my parents were not, didn't have much money. And so first of all, I got a job in a village called Treviw, Trefriw, Treviw Mills, with Frida Williams's father. He owned the mills. Frida was his daughter, and she recommended I got a job there selling wool. And North Wales is a sheep farming countryside, sheep farming. So I got a job with Treviw Mills. And give me a Kleenex, please, Darryl. Just give me a Kleenex. Where is this wretched tube? Went to work at the Treviw Mills selling wool. And Frida was the daughter of the owner. And she told her friend, Nan McKenna, MC, stop, capital E-double-N-A. Nan McKenna was from Scotland. She was dumpy, fat, straightforward, and then she was the warden at the youth hostel. Youth hostels were common in those days. YHA, Youth Hostel Association. And this one was called Gwydir GWIDYR or YDIR, Uchaf, UCHAF. And that meant Gwydir was the name of the castle, and Uchaf means up. So you had to go up stone steps up to Gwydir Uchaf, which was a youth hostel. And during the war, the British government in London sent all the civil servants to the coastal towns in North Wales, send them up to the coastal towns in North Wales. They filled up all the hotels, and they brought with them all of the papers from London, because they were the civil servants. And they brought all the papers from London so that the Germans wouldn't destroy them if they bombed London, or when they bombed London. So those hotels were filled with the civil servants. And over the weekend, during the weekend, those civil servants, the ones with any savvy, used to come to the youth hostel, and they'd hang out there for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they go back on Sunday. and there were a couple of people. David Mitchell was one, and John Irving was another. David Mitchell ended up being the ambassador for the UK to France, and John Irving ended up in the courts in London in some high position in what were they called? The Royal Courts? I can't remember, but he was a lawyer. Over there they called them, what did we call them, Davil, over there? I'll think about it. Solicitor, a solicitor, and that meant a lawyer, and he ended up in the law courts in London. So at the weekends they used to come to the youth hostel, and there was my second job, as I told you, was in the youth hostel with Nan McKenna, and it's where I learned to be authoritative. I had the students, most of them were students, the university students, most of them, and I